Masechta bava basra, daf nun amar aleph. We're starting from 5 lines from the top. That's but no, that's by you. By us, it's also 5 lines from the top. We said yesterday that a husband cannot make a chazak in his wife's property, but by nirsim elug we learned that he could. But we said he cannot make a chazak in his wife's property by being there the whole time. But if it was sold, it's mashma only he cannot make a chazaka. But what if he has a star, a raya, or a raya with Eidim, or a raya that he bought it? Then it's mashma. So we said by nirsim elug, it says hara oya, like Eidim or star that he bought it. So no, it's not for sure going to be because we could say nachas ruach asis leval. I did it only because I wanted to please my husband, that he shouldn't get angry. That's why I sold it. That's why he has takashta. I did sell it, but I sold it only because to make him happy, not that he should be upset at me. But
so what does he need the shtar?
So
legitimizes that he can have this in a road.
Legitimizes that he can keep the field, not just the fruits of the field. But he's come to tell us by nirsim elug it's different. By nirsim elug, the Gemara says, nirsim elug, he knows what nirsim elug is. Okay. So the din is by nirsim elug that it's going to, if he sold it, if there was a raya, it will help because there she doesn't have a problem saying I don't want to sell it to you. It's mine. I got it from it's sentimental. I got it from my parents. I don't want to sell it. So therefore, if there was a shtar as a raya, then it would help and it would be a real sale. In fact, how could you say that? That a man and a woman, or a woman, a man and a woman that had sold the nirsim elug, it's 0. So l'cheda, how can? So we're going to talk about it. Let's say the husband, even if she sold it to him, l'cheda. If the husband sold his chusim of the fruits in the field, right? And he went ahead and bought the gufa karka from the woman, we say it's 0. Why? A woman doesn't have a problem telling the husband, I don't want to participate in the sale because it's sentimental to me. So why don't we use the same svara? If she agreed to sell it, should be a sale. And when did we learn Amema's case? It wasn't talking about what we think that they sold it together. Rather, it's talking about either one. It's not both together. It's either in a case where the husband sold the nechasim and he passed away. What did he sell? The fruits of the nechasim. He has a merit in eating the fruits of his wife's fields. He sold that schus, and then he died. So the halacha is it's not a sale. Asya she could come umafka and take away from the lekuchis that schus, because the schus was he was only allowed to sell what was bechaye in his life. He was allowed to eat the fruits when he was alive, but once he passes away, he sold the schusim of the fruits in his lifetime.
Well, it should have stated that. In other words, as long as I'm alive, I can sell the
fruits. So he didn't state it. It doesn't matter. Even if he didn't state it, she could take it away. Inami, another case is Zavna Ihi, where she sold her part of the field, the gufa karka, umeis, and she passed away. The halacha is that Asa Ihu, he could come umafik and take it out, but takanta the rabbanon with the takana of the rabbanon. L'chayda, he shouldn't be able to take it away. It's just like a father who sells nechasim, and then he passes away. The children cannot go claim by the buyers who bought from the father in his lifetime those fields as a yerusha. So l'chayda, here she sold the gufa karka in his lifetime. So if she passes away, why should he be able to? No, once she died, that's it. So he doesn't get any. The only reason is to keep the peace with the wife, but she's dead. And also, why should he get why should the buy again? If she dies, the husband shouldn't get anything. That's not part of the Yerusha. It wasn't part of the Yerusha.
So what is he saying? That
but we're saying he could take it away from the Lukuchis. What's the reason? Because he yashens it. How? Because it's a takan to the Rabbanon. We said the Rabbanon's takana were like this. But Usha hiskinu sha'isha shemachar b'menisim elug, a woman who sold the guf hakarka of the fruits that the husband is eating, she cannot sell the fruits. He still gets to eat the fruits while they're alive. Umeisa, and then she died. The husband could take it away from the hand of the lukuchis. What's the reason for it? So he brings down the Chacham were concerned that if she'll sell the guf hakarka in his lifetime, that's going to cause a hatred between the husband and the wife because of the sale.
Isn't that because he's not going to be able to get the?
No, he still gets the fruits. She cannot sell
Back to
the
lukuchas?
she cannot sell the fruits once he has a merit in the fruits while they're still married. That cannot be sold. But if she's going to sell the guf hakarka for the future, that's going to cause a hatred. So the Chacham were masakin that if the woman dies, so the Baal is considered as if he bought it limafreya through him already eating in the karka. That gave him already a sort of a upper hand as if as the buyer, as the first buyer, and therefore, even though it was sold, it's like whoever bought it was the second buyer, and he has the first rights. And if she dies, he gets the property. But in the case where they both sold it like we originally thought, no, then or she sold it to him, then the sale is a regular sale. Because if they did it together, there's no reason why.
That's the to what we said before, no?
No, we thought that's what it was. We said it doesn't make sense. Because we said l'chayra she was gama daita in the sale. Because she has no problem in rejecting such a sale. And she doesn't have to please. There's nothing to please her husband. The husband has to please her in such a case, because she got this property from her parents, so it's sentimental. And if she agrees to sale, then the sale is a good sale. Levi Sema, if you want, I can tell you another teretz. The Ameima the Amma Kishit Sebelezer. Ameima is saying like the Shita Sebelezer. The sale is not going to be a sale, even if they both sold it together. And even though we say it's Gama Daita, she really wants the sale to be a sale. The sale will not be a sale. Why? Because the Shita of Rabbi Lezer is, if it doesn't belong, this property doesn't belong exclusively to one person, then they cannot sell it. Because he has the rights in the Peiris, and she has the rights in the Gufar Karka.
So you can't make a sale.
You understand what it means? He has the right to eat from the fruits of the field, and she owns the Gufar Karka. Therefore, he cannot sell. Where do we see that? The Tanya that we learned in Abraisa. One who sells an Evet Kanani to another person, and he made a deal with him. Listen, I still need it for 30 days. I'm going to sell it to you now, but I need the first 30 days. I still need him to finish some work for me. I need that this Evet Kanani should work for me for 30 days. What happened? The Evet was killed by the master. This guy who sold the Evet already. So the Chayda there's a din to Yaakov. He killed him. The one that was using him for 30 days, he gave him a beating. The old one killed him. And there's a din, knock him, you knock him. Then he has to get killed for killing his Evet. But what's if the Evet lasts 24 hours? Then lo you can he kaspa you. It's his kesef. So here the shaila is it considered as his Evet because he sold the Evet? Or not?
Oh, it's not if he sold it.
If he sold it, but he's still working for him.
So maybe he still has other
Maybe, yeah. So here we're going to learn a three-way machlokes. Harisha, the first one, who killed him within the 30 days, he falls under the category that if the Adin kills the Evet Kanani, he's supposed to get killed. But if he lives 24 hours and he's the Adin, then he doesn't get killed. Versus another person, he goes free.
So the sale was not a sale.
Versus another person, if he would kill this Evet, the outsider who killed the Evet, even if 24 hours passed, he would still get killed.
Right.
Okay, so over here, the mayor holds he is considered as a masna, but because the Evet is still working for him. What does it mean? It's like the lashon of the pasuk umeis tachas yodei. So it follows the lashon of the pasuk. So, but the Hasheni, anybody but the second, if the second one who bought him for money but didn't start using him, he doesn't fall under the category of Yom Yamayim, if even after 24 hours the Eved dies, the second Adam would get killed. Mipnei she'Eved einay tachta, because the Eved is not on the kasava. Reb Meir holds when you have two shutvim, so too the guf is shaykh to one of them, and the usage is to the other. Kinyan aperis ke kinyan the guf dami. Reb Meir holds using the Eved is as if you acquire the guf. Rabbi Yehuda no. Rabbi Yehuda argues Hasheni yesh lebedin yoim or yamayim. Rabbi Meir says no. The second odain. I'm sorry. Rabbi Yehuda says the second odain, the one who is not using him but paid for it, he falls under the category as being the master. And if it dies after 24 hours, he paid for it. After 24 hours, he goes free. Mipnei she'Eved kaspay, because that is called his, because the Eved is his kesef. And like the lashon of the pasuk, ki kaspay hu. So you see, the Torah uses the Torah emphasizes kaspay. That's how Rabbi Yehuda looks under the word kaspay, and Rabbi Meir looks under the word tachta because it says umeis tachas yodai. Okay, kasova kinyan peris lav kinyan aguf dami. But he holds just by him using the Eved doesn't make him a balabas. And therefore, if the Eved died after 24 hours, he still gets killed. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Zog you might lets him use it. It's not considered as a. He's not considered as the balabas. The other. Rabbi Yossi is a third shita. Zog you what does Rabbi Yossi say? Shneim. Side the moicha, side the lokeach. Yesh lebedin yoyim yamayim. He says they're both considered as they're both going to be potter if the Eved dies after 24 hours. The first one mipnei shehu tachta, because he's still using him, and maybe that what constitutes him as an adin. Mipnei shehu kaspa, and the second adin is going to be potter if it died after 24 hours because it's his kesef. So that maybe that constitutes him as an adin. Misapkele ikinyan peris kekinyan agov dame. He allowed kekinyan agov dame. He was misupik. If by using Eved, you have the rights to the usage of the Eved, does that make you as an adin or not? And since it's a suffix nefesh is lahakel.
Why did you have to say it's a suffix? Why didn't you say that?
Because it's a suffix.
You say it's both of these things.
No, but he's saying it's a suffix by using the Eved if that constitutes him as a other. You can't, because here it's a suffix, and it says v'shaftu ha'eda v'yitzilu ha'eda. What does the pasuk tell you? V'yitzilu ha'eda sayach that it's on the Sanhedrin to look if it's a suffix. If it's a suffix for the Sanhedrin, has to save him and pata him from misa when it's a suffix. Rabbi Lazar, huh? Suffix nefesh lahakel. When it comes to a suffix nefesh, we go lahakel. They both don't fall under the category of Yom Yamayim. After 24 hours, they still get killed. The first Adin and the second Adin, neither one are considered as an Adin. Because the second Adin, is not under his now authority, because the first 30 days it's under the first Adin's authority. And the first one, because it's not his kesef, because he sold it already.
So about 825.
820, I saw no.
Oh, 820.
No, 815, yeah, something like that.
Oh, 815.
That's why I said, I told you 815, 820.
810.
By Ben Abu, I think it's 8:15. What's the reasoning of Rebbe Lazar that he says neither of them are considered as an Adaim? And if they either of them killed the Eved, and even though the Eved died after 24 hours, either Adaim are going to get killed because they're not considered as Adaim, because it says in the pasuk, the pasuk says Lo Yukam Ki Kaspoihu. So everybody, so the Rashbam says, why did it have to say kaspai? The pasuk should have only written ki kasevu. What's kaspai? What are you like giving it like exclusive poi. Why are you emphasizing poi? The Eved is his. So from here, we know that the only way that Adin is going to be considered as a real Adin if it's Kaspoi Hameyuchadlai, if he's the exclusive Adin, meaning there's nobody else involved here. Since here, in our case, at the first Adin, the Adin that sold the Eved still has authority for the first 30 days. So, but he doesn't own it because he sold it already. And the second Adin doesn't have the authority over the Eved for the first 30 days, but he only has the money. So neither of them, is it miyuchet to them? Is it exclusive to them? So therefore, they're not considered, neither of them are considered as Adin. And if either of them killed the Eved and the Eved died after 24 hours, they get killed. Even after 24 hours.
So Rabbi Yossi is the one that's makel the most?
Yes.
Makel the most.
Rabbi Yossi is Mekel. Yeah, he says both of them are going to be Potter.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's not the emphasis here is now to answer what's going to be Benegeya Rabbi Lezer. Rabbi Lezer said, by Nichsim Elug, even if they both sold it, it's not going to be a sale. So because we compare Nichsim Elug to this case, that the only way that it could be sold, if it's sold fully, is only if it was exclusively owned by one of them. But since the schus of the payers belongs to the Isha, and the the schus of the payers belongs to the husband, and the guf Sadeh belongs to the Isha, so neither of them have the field exclusively. Therefore, it's neither of them have authority. Therefore, it's not a sale. It has nothing to do with her being gova daitoi that she's not going to sell it because she's afraid. Because nachas ruach has nothing to do. She wanted to. There, it's not. There's nothing to make her husband happy with. Faket, the husband by Nisri look has to make her happy. It's her property that she came into the marriage. So really, it's a chutzpah of the husband to ask for her to sell it because it's sentimental to her. She got it from her father. So therefore, if she agrees to sell, it will be a sale. But here, the reason why it's not a sale because it wasn't exclusively hers. That's what Abelaz is saying, and it's not exclusively his.
So she's
And the
willing
only way to
mean
be
that she's not sentimental about it anymore.
right, and but it's governdaita. You could say she's not doing it just to make her husband happy. She didn't have to do that. So obviously, if she agreed, it would be a full sale. But here, it couldn't have been a good sale because it's owned by both, by the husband and the wife. The paid is by the husband and the gufar
If they
by the
both
wife.
sell it, then it's not a sale. But if she sells it, it's your sale.
Neither. No, she can't sell it alone, and he can sell it alone. It has to exclusively belong to one of them. If she gave it to him, maybe it would be a sale. That's something else. Let me see if he brings that down. Okay, I don't have time to look over there. Okay, I'm going to look later. So it says in the Mishnah, Loi leish chazaka b'dichsei ishlei. It says a man cannot claim he has a chazaka by eating the fruits in his wife's fields, because the wife didn't have to be meicha, because that's part of the deal that he gets to eat the fruits in the wife's field. So it's not a chazaka.
Isn't that cheaper?
Fact the Gemara Eshes Ish Tzicha Limchais. Rav says faket. No, a married woman does have to be meicha
How could she
in
make
order
her
to be
husband-
chazaka.
How could she make her husband?
Says the Gemara B'man. Who are we talking about? Is making a chazaka in this married?
She can't talk back to her husband.
1 minute. Who says it's talking about the husband? B'man. Who are we talking about? That is now making a chazaka in the field that the wife should have to be making a macha. If you're talking about an outsider, Rav said that even an ache cannot make a chazaka in that field and claiming it's his field, because she even though he's there for 3 years, because she was relying that the husband would give up a yitzhak because he has this chus in the peiris. So since he has a chus in the peiris, she relied that if the husband sees somebody eating in the field, he would make a yitzhak. So therefore, she didn't even be bothered to make a macha. So therefore, it's not going to be a chazaka. So we cannot be talking about that it's the husband, that Hashbam says, because ein machzikim is loshen rabim, which is mashma l'shar b'nei adam, to all other people in plural. Or this is mamish the Mishnah. The Mishnah says that a husband cannot make a chazaka in the woman's in the husband that belongs to her, because he has a right to eat the fruits. That's part of the deal. So there was no reason for her to make a macha. Sagt die Gemara, rather, what are you going to say? The Baal. So Amarabba, yeah, the Baal. It's talking about the Baal. And what is the Baal doing? He's not eating the paydays. He's doing other than what he has rights to do. His rights is only to eat paydays. He came and he started to dig some holes, paydays, making pits, shichin, ditches, and caves. He's destroying the kak from Alazaitim. So that's not part of the deal. The part of the deal is he gets to eat the fruits, not to be a mazik over there.
Who says it's his instruction?
No, that's the deal. That he gets only the paydays maluk. That's all. Not sutrashkin the whole field.
No, this means that he's rooting the field.
Yeah, of course, he's making pits for himself. He's rooting it for her. Maybe he has a reason he wants to. Who knows what to do over there? Make a well over there. Who knows? Okay. So that's why it's a chazaka, and she should have been meicha, because he was doing things other than eating the paydas, other than what he has a schus in the paydas. She has to make a chazaka. A macha, I'm sorry. She has to make a macha, because he's doing other things than he has, than he was allowed to do. He was only allowed to eat the paydas, not to dig paydas. Paydas sichon u'maydes. But how could you say that it's a chazaka? There's no such a one cannot make a chazak by doing damages. Says the Gemara, Ema say she'ein din chazaka. It means the chazaka of Gimel Shanim doesn't happen by damages. You don't need 3 years. If the person is damaging, la'alta have a chazaka is immediately a chazaka. That's what it means. Ein din chazaka l'nezakim. Not that ein chazaka, there's no chazaka. It's chazaka right away. Because if he's destroying, he should open his mouth right away. If you want, I can tell you another answer. Lavit malod. This that we learn. The only type of damages that we're talking about, that one cannot make a chazaka, is that he's smoking up the field, or he turned the whole field into a toilet. He made a whole bunch of bathrooms over there. That's already not normal. But the ditches, using it for his own usage, making ditches and midas, so then it is a chazaka. It will be a chazaka gimel shani. Here he's arguing before. The first shot is ein din chazaka, means you don't have a din chazaka of 3 years, rather right away. According to the second shot is no, you have a chazaka after 3 years. But the only time is a nizakin is not a chazaka if it's such nizakin like you're smoking up the field or you're turning the field into bathrooms. Yes, he would have a chazaka.
In his wife's field.
Yes, and she had to be meicha. Okay, Zak the mother.
It's not so easy, that she's going to make a fight with her husband.
She has to make a macha. Okay, so she has to make a macha. Okay, she has to make a macha. Rabbi Yosef Amar Le'ilam. Rabbi Yosef says, really, we're talking about a stranger, not a husband, who's being machzik in the chosim. What is it talking about? Ukagoin, that the person ache bought off the nichsim eluk from the husband, and he was eating paydas while the husband was alive. Mixas chazaka b'chayabal. So this outsider was eating the paydas while the husband was alive, because he sold the schusim of the paydas. And then shalosh la'acham misas habal. Then 3 years after the death of the Baal. Now, once the Baal dies and he's still eating there, we got a problem. So she should have made a macha. Migu the bayama, but it's a migu that he could have told her, I bought it directly from you.
Who could say the stranger?
The stranger. Ki amala l'chayda, he's a sharecropper. A sharecropper shouldn't have a chazaka, right? You understand? A sharecropper cannot have a chazaka because he has the rights to be there. So says the Rashbam. Here it's different. A sharecropper has unlimited time. He's a worker there. He's always getting his 25%. Here, this guy who bought the nichsim elug, we don't look at him as a sharecropper. Once the husband dies, he has no more merits in the fruits. So he had a plan there to be able to eat after. Obviously, he bought the karka from her, or he bought it from him. He thought, he says, I could have said I bought it from you. And therefore, when he says to her, you sold the karka to your husband, and he sold it to me, Muhammad, he's going to be believed. Because he shouldn't have. Yeah, the fruits belong to him. So B'chaya Abal, he sold it to who? B'chaya Abal, he sold it to the outsider. The outsider was eating the fruits. Then once the husband died, he kept on eating the fruits another 3 years. So how was he allowed to eat it? And you can't say, oh, she wasn't Beicha because she considered him as a sharecropper. He was eating in the lifetime of the Baal, because the payers of a husband stops when he dies. There's no more payers. So obviously, yeah, it has to be after he bought it, right?
Before the husband died,
No, he could have. She sold him the karka. It could have been she sold him the karka, and he bought it in the time when the husband was alive. Okay, we'll stop over here.